Okay, so this is Connie Mason doing some balance pose adjustments with Martin. Mart, if you'd like to come into tree pose, and I'm going to support you while you do that, taking your foot to the calf of your leg and your hands into prayer. Now, if you could, I've got my fingers supporting him on his hairline, and I'm going to ask you to open your right knee to the far side of the room while I support your head, lifting you up. And I would think you feel quite solid from that position. And I'm going to ask you to lower your leg and lower the hands. And it's a long haul pose, so I only release when Mark's come out of the pose. So now, Mark, if you'd like to turn to your right on the mat and come into dancer pose, raising your right arm and taking hold of your left ankle. And I'm just supporting Mark for balance at this stage, and then I'm going to lift both the leg and the ankle, the wrist up. And any adjustments that I might want to make from here, I'll do verbally. So I think we're fine. Okay. And I'm going to take Mart out of the pose by releasing the leg, placing it down, and releasing the arm. So we are now, what are we doing next? We're doing a tree and just, oh, okay, here we go. So we're going to do a half moon pose.
Something before then.
Half moon pose with your very sophisticated block. No, that's fine, because we're doing the, we'll pause while we get you into an inversion, so that's fine. Okay, so Mark, if you can come into half moon with your right hand on our adapted block. I'm going to take my arm and my fist to pull Mark's hip back, ask him to raise the hand into the air, and you might like to look up, please, Mark, and if you can, raise your left leg. And at this point, I'm going to ask you to take your left hand down onto the block to come out of the pose, stability, and lower your legs, and then come up to standing. Okay, so we're now going to come into an inversion, and because Mark's new at this, I'm just going to take him through the early stages of a shoulder stand. So, a headstand. So if you could come into child's pose on the mat, please, Mark. And you might want to move forward a little bit. Okay. Now I'm going to ask you to clasp your hands together with your palms touching. And Mark does have a little bit of stiffness in the back of his neck, which is improving as we work together. So take the crown of the head now down to the mat, resting on the butt of your hands. If you can, bring it a little bit further forward. And looking back, so the crown of your head, that's okay. Now, if it's comfortable, you can push up into downward dog. Okay. And here I just want you to practice lifting your head off the ground and putting it back down. It allows you to strengthen the shoulders and to build the strength perhaps at some point to go into the pose completely. So if you'd like to now lower your knees, Mart, and come back to child's pose and rest there, just extending the arms and taking the head down to the ground and just resting in child's pose for a few minutes so that you're not giddy when you stand up. Okay, thank you.